Okay, so in this video, I want to go over how to defend the overhand right in the Philly shell position, because a lot of guys who start out in the Philly shell, they have a hard time defending the overhand right. Not only that, as a person who is more of a peekaboo style fighter myself, the overhand right was my go-to punch to tag guys who are in the Philly shell position. But it doesn't necessarily mean that that defensive position or another position means you're going to get hit. It all depends on your awareness and how you use it. The overhand right seems to be the nemesis of a lot of beginner fighters in the Philly shell, or fighters who fight out of the Philly shell position but aren't used to different situations, such as fighting a taller opponent or fighting somebody who gets the angle on them, etc. Now, at the end of this video, I have a quick announcement that I'm going to make, so stick around for that announcement, please. If a right hand comes or an overhand right comes, I always have this left hand to block, like so. That's your standard block. Or if you're in MMA, you see more of a high cover like this. And that's a high percentage cover, means that as long as you get your forearm in the way of that fist, you are going to block that shot. The downside to this kind of defense is that you don't have control over the other opponent for that split second. You absorb that shot, and a lot of people don't like that. They get moved around, or maybe their hand is out and they hit themselves, or they just don't get a solid enough position. So this type of block to a right hand or an overhand right is guaranteed to block the shot, but it's not the easiest to counter from, because once you're hit, boom, it's not easy to come back and counter or set up other counters. Although you can, if you are aware and can time it right. That's another video. What happens is, with people who start to get into the Philly shell, and one thing I like about the Philly shell is that it's versatile and offers you different things. So myself, most of the time I'm going to be in your peekaboo, but every now and then I'll switch to the Philly shell. It gives me, from my sideways stance, more leeway and flexibility this way. Unlike here in my peekaboo, I have a harder time unless I go sideways and then I'm open on the side. So this Philly shell position is better for certain flexibility and a whole bunch of other things. So one thing I will say about fighters who adopt a particular style of fighting is, again, keep yourself open and be open-minded to different styles, and not only open-minded, but practice switching them up from your peekaboo to your Philly shell and back, or let's say a long arm, long range style. Whatever you're going to work, it's good to be able to mix it up. Now, the defense from the Philly shell against the right hand. Picture my right hand coming towards you. Here I go, it's coming straight at your chin. That's where I'm aiming. Sometimes a little bit higher, straight in your face. Okay, this is coming straight towards you from my shoulder, or I'm trying to get it right down the pipe. From the Philly shell, the standard defense, it's being aimed at my chin. I'm going to turn my body, roll my shoulder in, like so. It's very straightforward. Your right hand comes towards me, my chin is already tucked, so I'm in a good position. The punch comes, I turn, and it hits. Or I can time it just right. Here, it deflects off, sets up a nice counter. It deflects off, sets up a nice counter. It deflects off, sets up a nice counter. Or it deflects and you throw a left hook, and then I'm there to block the left hook. Now what happens is, the overhand right comes here, depending on how wide it is. But let's say it's just your standard overhand right, standard boxing overhand right, not a wide looping one or a Maidana style chop. It comes here. So now all of a sudden the aim of the punch is coming from high to low. Well, especially if I'm fighting a taller fighter who's punching straight down on me and I'm in the Philly shell, or somebody my height who's coming over top like that, you can be sure that that punch that's coming from there, if I roll this way, it's going to tag me, boom, on the top of my head. Now, the top of the head is a tough place, but if you're getting hit on the side or on the top, that's going to take its toll. You still don't really want to get hit on these exposed areas. So, the key with blocking the overhand right out of the Philly shell is that you have to bend your body back. You have to angle your body. So from here, if I angle my body back, now the punch is coming from there, then I roll and turn from the angled position. Now when you do this, you do it all in one. The punch comes, I angle back and roll at the same time. And there's my counter. From here, you throw the overhand right, I roll back and roll my shoulder at the same time. I don't go 1, 2. That's going to take too long. I go 1. One great fighter that you can watch who is good at this, other than Mayweather, is Sugar Ray Leonard when he used to work out of the Philly shell. Sometimes he would roll back or he would drop straight down and counter from a drop down position. So you can look at the variations. Sugar Ray Leonard was pretty good at this. So one good way to really get this going is to work with a partner. Have them throw it really slow pace, straight right or overhand right, and have them mix it up. And you can be there working. But remember, if you think about my forearm coming down on that angle, you want to get your body in line with that angle so that when you turn the shoulder in, it's in the way of the punch coming down that line, like so. So I hope that helps you guys out. If you're working out of the Philly shell, if you're working out of a different style, mix it up with the Philly shell. If you're working out of the Philly shell, try to get used to seeing the difference between the straight right and the overhand right so that you can adjust your body. Now for the announcement, I'm going to start to do live seminars or webinars which you will be able to watch live, and there are different ones that I'm going to do. Some will be instructional and some will be workout based. But this March 1st is going to be my first live seminar. There will be a fee for the seminar, but it's reasonable. It's like $5. So if you sign up before the date, it's $5. But if you sign up on the actual day, then it goes up to $10 or whatever. For those of you who may be in a different time zone, I'm basically in Toronto, which is the same time zone as New York. And so if you're in a different time zone and you can't watch it because you're asleep or you're doing something else, if you sign up for the webinar, you will get a link where you can still watch it 5 days after. So you don't necessarily have to watch it live. So let's say it's going on March 1st, 11 o'clock Toronto time. For 5 days, the link will be available. You can watch it anytime you want. If you miss the actual day and it's a couple days after and you still want to check out the webinar, you can always purchase it and then you can still watch it then. So it's set up for those who are going to want to be able to watch it live and those who want to watch it later. Also, if you have any technical issues with your laptop or the stream, then there'll already be a recorded version that you can just watch later. So you don't have to worry about everything going perfectly for you to catch this live seminar. So the first one coming up is going to be on sparring tactics and different tactics for sparring, distance control, fighting out of the inside, fighting on the inside, different ways to get inside on the taller fighter, and some other combinations and counters, and it'll go about 40 minutes. So I'm going to leave a link in the description below, and there's also that link will take you to the page if you're interested in signing up. And hopefully you guys are interested in checking out my live seminars. All right, thanks for watching. Peace.